Happy Venus Day, everybody. Welcome to your weekly love energy reading for the week of Friday, February 5th. I am so excited to be doing these readings again here on my channel. So we've divided this particular episode into two segments, okay? The first segment is going to be for those of you who are in relationships. It's going to be for if you're married, in an established bond, or if you are in a complicated situationship. We also have a segment for those of you who are single and looking for love. If you're in a situationship, you may also want to take a look at this reading. Depends on where you are on the situationship spectrum. So timestamps for each segment are going to be found in the description box and the comment thread down below, just like always. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in just a sec. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the relationship segment of this love energy reading. So this is going to be specifically for people who are married or in existing relationships, or if you're in what we call nowadays a situationship. This might also be beneficial for you. If you are in a situationship, you may also want to check out the single reading too, just in case, because I'm just really not sure where on the spectrum you are. So just to kind of get a more full perspective. So we're going to do this in a similar way, which is similar to how I used to do it before I stopped doing these readings back in January. So we're going to start by looking at your energy, then we're going to look at your partner's energy, and then we're going to kind of bridge the gap, okay? So really let's focus on the energy for the people who are reading this, who are watching this reading. Okay, so we have a Page of Swords reversed, a Two of Wands. Hold on, a 10 of Cups and a 6 of Cups reversed. Okay. Clearly, you are coming from a place, whatever that means, you're coming from a place that is more driven by a vision of the future. All right. Hopefully your partner is as well and shares that vision. The Two of Wands really is about shaping your world and collapsing realities. And so I do sense that you have this more optimistic approach to things, a lot more hope. Now, for some of you, this may not apply to all of you. If you're in an unhealthy connection right now, or if it's really struggling, or if it's gotten a little bit stormy lately, if you're the one holding the vision and your partner just simply is not on board, this may actually be problematic. If you're the one holding the optimism and the hope for the connection and your partner doesn't really seem to be, also that could be problematic. But I love that energy for you. All right. Now, if you are in a healthy connection and you both are like really on board, then absolutely this relationship could progress quickly and take it to the next level. Now, the next level could be, whether you're dating and looking to get married, it could be having children or buying a home together, or it really could just be a reestablishing of that shared connection, of that passion, of that heat, of that, like, this is why I chose you. You are my person. I love you. You're the best person I've ever met. And it's possible that there could be a dissolving of the past for some reason. And there are no indications in the cards here. There's really nothing going on in the astrology either. But I'm feeling really strong Piscean qualities, which means that there is this desire to dissolve the past, all right, and to have mercy with one another and to have grace and compassion for past mistakes and to be able to really move on and rebuild or start building wherever you are, rebuild or start building for the sake of a more established future. Now, the Page of Swords may indicate some issues with communication. Now, we just had Mercury moving into Virgo as of today. So, Mercury in Virgo is in rulership. He's strong here. And yes, he can communicate very, very well. Sometimes, though, the things that need to be communicated can be tough, meaning it's a little bit brutal honesty type stuff. And sometimes you do kind of need to lay things out on the table, and you need to be able to, really express yourself in a free forum without the fear of judgment or the fear of your partner getting really defensive. So I do kind of feel like there's a fear of full expression on your part, because maybe there's a fear of how it will be received by your significant other. But other than that, I don't really see a lot of issues for you. We'll take a look at the partner. I think that you're just totally on board with this 10 of Cups. Like, let's just go be happy, right? It doesn't need to be so complicated. Let's just be happy, and let's not worry about the small things, and let's not worry about our personality quirks, and let's just like decide to unify. So that's where you're coming from. So let's see where your partner is coming from. Okay, we have a 5 of Wands. We have a Hanged Man. We're both reversed, and a 3 of Swords with an 8 of Cups. All right. You know, this is what's hard about relationships sometimes too, is just realizing that while two people may be together, sometimes you really just are on your own path. And sometimes those paths run parallel, and sometimes they don't. Right now, I'm kind of sensing that your partner's kind of in their own world. You know, they're just kind of 8 of Cups, meaning they're moving away from something comfortable and moving towards something that is unknown for them. And I think they're really scared about it. 3 of Swords, you know, they are. Now, if you're dating someone, this may be a fear of intimacy, right? Because maybe this is someone who's been single and who has had unhealthy situations in the past, and now here they are faced with, you know, commitment and something real and potent and powerful, and they may be really struggling with crossing that bridge to allow that into their life. If you're married, you know, obviously that commitment has been established, but it does seem that there is some kind of wounding or disappointment from their past that is sort of creeping up for them. Now, we do have Venus in Cancer right now. Cancer, as we know, has really healing properties, but it does so. The healing occurs through feeling, like you have to feel the things. So I do sense that your partner is quite sensitive to what they are feeling right now. Now, we all have feelings. It's just that sometimes deep emotion, right, it's more energy in motion surfaces that needs to be dealt with and confronted. 5 of Wands in the reversal, I think they're struggling with that confrontation within themselves. Now, this would be interesting to see how many of your partners are really aware that they're even going through this. For some, it might be a really powerful movement in time. Others, it may be more subtle. And if it is more subtle, then it's probably like, if you were to approach them, they're like, what the heck are you even talking about? But then in the future, when they look back, they'll be like, oh yeah, like that was kind of a weird time. That was a time where I had to really step it up and have that courage to move away from that comfort zone of mine and to power through and to have a lot of faith. Now, here's the Pisces card. This is why I was getting Pisces energy. Like I knew it. There was some weird Piscean aspect that was coming through here. And here it is. This is a card of Pisces, the Hanged Man. And I do sense that they are having to make some kind of a sacrifice, and they are resisting that sacrifice because by making that sacrifice, they are clinging, or by making it, they are losing. And so they may be clinging on because they are so afraid. Now, I'm just going to be a little personal with you guys. Okay, I have been binge watching old episodes of Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay. Okay, I don't know why. I just saw it pop up on my YouTube one day. I was like, oh, let me rewatch some of these because I used to love that show. And I'm realizing now, coming at that show from I'm older, I'm a little bit more wise, you know, rather than like 10 years ago when that show was on the air. But I'm kind of like realizing that all of these owners of these restaurants were so resistant to change because they were so afraid of losing the customers that they kind of already had, even though they were like in debt, like millions or hundreds of thousands up to millions of dollars. but they were terrified of releasing their grip on what they had for something completely unknown, because they just simply didn't have any proof that it was going to work. And so I get a sense that that's where your partner is at, of like something isn't working for them. They know they need the change. They know they need improvements, but it's like, how willing and how ready are they to really take that risk and make that leap and cross that bridge? And I think it is a very scary thing for them. It's obviously they know that you have their back. It's interesting that you are a little bit more relationship focused, whereas right now they may be a little bit more internalized within themselves, going through some kind of personal stuff that really doesn't have a lot to do with you, but rather kind of their relationship with their own soul and their own potential. Now, if they have your emotional support, which I know for a fact, 10 of Cups, that they do, you know, if they have your emotional support, they can get through this. And then that's where that vision and these paths can really run parallel again. With Mars coming into that conjunction, now obviously Mars is moving away from Uranus and North Node now. So we're kind of coming off of that. So it's a waning energy, I suppose, but it is still there. And so the buildup of that may have brought some kind of a point of contention between the two of you. But as Mars makes its way through Gemini, before it hits its shadow phase, there is going to be that opportunity for you to really communicate and talk, right? To talk about issues that are existing. And hopefully that's going to be a time when your partner knows that you really have their back and you're not going anywhere, that this stuff doesn't scare you. But if they let it scare themselves, then it is kind of a problem, because you're the one that's going to be affected by that. Because if they start pulling away within the relationship, or if they start not sharing with you, or start kind of shutting down, or, you know, it can be a little bit hard for you to feel like you're the only one really fighting for that. Now, this is a temporary reading, right? This is going to be a weekly reading, so I'm not saying this is a permanent situation, but and especially if you have a healthy marriage or a healthy bond with somebody, obviously this is going to be a blip on the radar and you will be able to rectify. If it's unhealthy though, and you're already struggling enough as it is, and it's weird enough as it is, you know, it's probably going to come to a point where you're going to say, look, you either believe that I believe in you or you don't. And if you don't believe and accept that I believe in you and that I love you, then I don't know that this relationship really does have a future, you know? With this full moon coming up in Aquarius on the 11th, you know, that's going to be conjunct Saturn. So there may be some quality of severance, things being severed. Okay, this is the Tarot of Sexual Magic. All right, so we're just going to pull out one card, Two of Wands. Okay, you've got Two of Wands here. This is a Two of Wands. Now, obviously, I read this Tarot of Sexual Magic deck in a completely different way. It doesn't normally have like the traditional meanings, because what I'm seeing here are two people sitting at a table, kind of, you know, they're not like actually engaged in sexual activity, but there is still a deep level of intimacy. And I feel that your intimacy for the two of you right now, you may be feeling strong sexual energy. Okay, we are in Leo season. Okay, we've got the moon in Scorpio today, but it'll move into Sag later. But, you know, we've got Leo season plus Mars over in Taurus. Also Jupiter in Aries. Okay, these are really sexual energies, specifically Leo and Taurus. All right, Mars is a high libido kind of planet, so you may be feeling really sexual right now. But I think the best way to really connect is actually going to be not engaging in the sexual act so much as it is what happens probably before or even after, right? It's the being close, the bodies being close together, the sharing space, allowing the energetic channels to open up for each other. It's really in maybe the lack of talking that actually may really bridge the gap. I don't know how chatty your partner is going to want to be right now. I'm not getting a lot of that. You, I think, wanting to talk a little bit more, them maybe a little bit more shut down. But this is actually going to be, and I'm kind of envisioning like laying together in bed naked but not having sex is kind of what I'm feeling. It's like togetherness and closeness, but have it be more about that tantric universe connection rather than like having an orgasm. You see, you know what I mean? So that's going to really bring the two of you together. Now we're going to pull out only one oracle card here. We're going to use the moon deck this week. Your dreams need a practical plan. All right, maybe that could be helpful for your partner, because I'm sensing that they may be resistant to moving on if they feel like they don't have some kind of a plan. So maybe you can be kind of that sounding board or a brainstorming partner of say, hey, look, I know that things are not necessarily organized or they're not clear or they may feel unsafe, but maybe you'll feel more safe if we sat down and realized, okay, this is where we are and this is where we want to go, and have some kind of right, this is such Mercury and Virgo vibes. I can't even believe I'm even saying this, but it's like come up with some kind of a system and a checklist of steps that we know need to be taken in order to get there. Being open to the plan changing, of course, but at least you'll have something to hang on to and something to keep you moving forward without having to kind of go back and redo things. It's just like about continuing to plow forward. So that would be helpful and beneficial for you both. You'll feel more secure in that because you'll know, okay, well, at least we're moving forward, and they'll feel more secure because then they don't feel so chaotic and lost. All right, so I do think being anchored in a plan is a really, really, really good idea. Okay, so now again, if you are a member of or any subscriber, right? I have like 3 tiers. I have my Soul Seekers group. I have my people who buy the 12 videos each month and the people who just buy only 1 video each month. All 3 groups will have access to the love readings for each zodiac sign. Okay, so if you want to log in and do that and check that out, you are more than welcome. Just go to the blog page once you're already logged in, and that video will be right at the top. All right, thank you guys so much. Talk to you soon. Hello, everybody. So this segment of the reading is for those of you who are single and looking for a relationship, and also if you are in some kind of a weird situationship. Now, I also recommended in the relationship segment of this reading, situationships can really go either way depending on where in the spectrum you are. So you feel free to watch both because you might get a little bit more insight, okay? But let's go ahead and take a look here. We're going to do this the same way that I used to do it back in January, which is this side, we're going to take a look at the energy of the person watching, and then we're going to take a look at the external world and see kind of what's brewing for you, and then we're going to kind of connect the two. So let's see for the people watching who are single. We have the moon, Page of Wands, Seven of Wands, and the 10 of Coins. I'm getting a feeling of being very ready. 10 of Coins, like moon energy can be very exhaustive. You've been through the healing, you've been through the unknown path, you've been through the surfacing of all the subconscious stuff, and I just think this Page of Wands is really ready to just kind of move on. You're ready for the fun and the adventure and the closeness and the intimacy and the power and the passion. And, this 10 of Coins is really about having it all. It's about not only having a romantic love interest that's healthy and that's actually moving forward toward common goals, but it's also about your own personal ambitions being successful as well. So I think you're focused on multiple things right now. You're inviting love in, and you're focused on your money and your career and your home and making everything the absolute best that you can possibly make it. I think that you're, I'm not trying to like stroke your ego or anything here, but I do. I'm getting a sense of like very well-rounded individuals, you know, people who like, people would be lucky to have you kind of thing. You know, they'd be lucky to have someone who has it all put together and who is building something and who does have dreams and who's not only having dreams, but also fighting, right? 7 of Wands. You're fighting for that dream in spite of adversarial energies and obstacles. You're standing up, you're showing up, you're really putting your best foot forward on a regular basis. Now, some of you may still be in this moon energy, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not trying to say like, if you're still healing, okay, you should be done by now. Obviously not. Like, we all have our own timing and our own process, and some people have more to heal from than others. So, you know, this is not about shame or anything, right? The moon energy is still here. So clearly there's still surfacing for everybody. Now, with Venus coming through Cancer, we know that Cancer has extraordinary healing capabilities, that archetype, that zodiac sign, right? Cancer is considered one of the moksha signs. Moksha is like freedom, right? All the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, all sort of elevate us within this human experience and spiritually, and in terms of releasing karma. Okay, so with Venus coming through Cancer, there is a release of karma. And as you are releasing karmic ties with people and past relationships, there's this cleansing. Now, as Venus makes her way into Leo, coming up here on the 11th, which is the same day as the full moon in Aquarius. All right, so when she comes into Leo, I'm kind of getting a sense like there's this massive purge. All right, and that will happen on Wednesday. So, or what day is it? Sorry, I don't know the day of the week. I'm trying to calculate in my mind, but now I'm all nervous because you guys are on the other end of the line. But you know what I mean. So August 11th. So that's coming up this week. So that sun, I kind of always envision like laundry being put out on the clothesline, right? You always want to put your whites out on the clothesline because the sun can naturally bleach your clothes, and it makes it white and it makes it fresh, and it kind of like gives that purification. And so when Venus comes into Leo, there is a purified relational energy. But for now, for this week, right, between now and August 11th, we're still kind of in the process of healing and coming back to ourselves regarding what we want in a relationship, what it is that we're truly seeking, what it is that will actually make us feel safe and secure, and being open to receiving what the universe may have to offer for us. So now for the external world, we have the 4 of Cups, 7 of Coins, both reversed, Queen of Coins reversed, Magician reversed. Okay, lots of reversals. So I'm looking at the Queen of Coins, and I feel that this is a significant match for you. Now, I'm not saying this person will absolutely come in this week, all right? But there is something brewing with the Magician energy. You have done a really, really, really good job and are continuing to do a good job of aligning your frequency properly. And you're doing that through significant boundaries and through saying no to things, as I'm seeing with the 4 of Cups. I think there have been a lot of opportunities that you have rejected because I don't know, maybe someone came on a little bit too strong. Maybe someone just said something that you immediately knew, okay, that's a red flag. And as good looking as this person is, I'm not going to put up with that, right? So you're not in a space of overlooking things that you know are going to be problematic. It's like you recognize the things and you decide, is this something that I really want to deal with or not? Maybe you bring it up to someone, hey, I really didn't like this. And if they change their behavior, great. But if they don't, boom, that's it. Like you get one chance and that's it, you know? And I think that you're communicating well with the universe by doing this. by not engaging in mild flirtations with people because you don't want to lead them on, or not engaging with, like, you're just not engaging with stuff that you know for a fact is not for you. And that's communicating well to the universe. This Queen of Coins is clearly someone of value who's going to match your vision of the 10 of Coins. Queen of Coins and 10 of Coins are very, very close together. This is someone who also is focused on their career and their path and getting what they feel that they want out of life as well. Strong and independent and willing to be ready to open up their world and share it with someone. Now, the reversal of all these cards does tell me that it's a little bit like it's not happening immediately or right away. But I'm happy that someone is showing up, because for those of you who have been, really thinking like, oh man, I'm really feeling not super great about, I don't have any prospects, no one is interesting. I'm just, maybe you're even getting a little, I'm not saying you are pessimistic, but you're just sort of, it's like you're not even really focused there. I'm happy that this person is showing up because they're around. Like, they are in your energetic sphere somewhere, and the universe is kind of working its way by weaving this beautiful tapestry that is your life, weaving them into the tapestry. And that may take some logistics, all right? So patience is probably going to be required for you, but calm, non-desperate, just like it's going to come when it's going to come. I highly recommend keeping your focus here on the 10 of Coins. Really ask yourself, what does the 10 of Coins mean for me? Does it mean making more money? Does it mean starting my business? Does it mean moving to that new location? Does it mean, asking my job for a promotion? Does it mean buying that home or redecorating my home or buying that new car? What does it mean to really up-level your life to this 10 of Coins place? All right, because we're all going to have different definitions of what that 10 of Coins truly represents. All right, but the Queen of Coins, absolutely just really, really positive in terms of there being someone percolating. The universe has someone in mind, All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the sexual energy at play for you right now. Okay, we have another Moon card. Now, this is kind of like swinger energy. I'm not saying y'all are swingers or whatever, but I do kind of sense a fantasy world when this card comes out, that your sexuality, like I just don't know that you're going to really be willing or ready to engage in sexual activity with someone who doesn't completely shoot you up to outer space, right? Like, it's not even necessarily about the feelings, the butterflies and whatever. Because I think now we're at a point in our understanding of psychologies and traumas that a lot of times those butterflies come because we've identified someone who loves us in the way that's familiar, like the way our parents loved us or whatever. So I'm not saying that this is necessarily about butterflies so much as it is about wanting to share that experience with someone that you genuinely respect, with someone that you genuinely admire, with someone that genuinely makes you feel safe and secure and like your future is safe and secured. Weird that this is like a swinger energy, but I say swinger because there's like two couples, but again, not everyone really engages in that kind of thing. So I'm not saying you should or that you do. It's more like fantasy, and the fantasy of that person you respect and that person you admire and who adores you, and the coming together of two souls in a way that has this mutual understanding that this is something real. It's meaningful, and it's not just a casual experience. It's not just a whatever one night stand. Oh, you're hot, let's do it. I think there's growth beyond that for you right now. And that's one of the reasons why this Queen of Coins is showing up and why it's percolating, because you've been doing such a good job of holding that vision and holding your standards and not succumbing to just the loneliness or whatever. you know. And then we have a moon card, adjustments are required. So if that's the 10 of coins that I was saying, you know, making sure that you're doing everything in your power to maximize your life as it is right now. I'm almost sensing that this Queen of Coins is someone that will enter least expected. There's really nothing you can do to bring this person in your life, so you might as well, like, you know, take care of everything else and be out there and be present and be confident. And, you know, as we're saying nowadays, the trendy phrase, right? Go take up space. Go be relevant, go be seen, go be opinionated, go share and create and, you know, and just be like this loud, prominent force in the world that ultimately inspires others. So if there are any issues, right, this is moon energy, healing energy. If there are any issues with your Venus, right, Venus is a goddess. She's beautiful and admired by all. And if there are issues with you being admired or you being seen, you being worshipped, right? And I don't mean like actual worship, but you get the idea, right? If there are issues with that, now is a time to kind of figure out your own way of getting over that and saying, no, I do want to be seen. I do want to be appreciated. I want to be valued. And I want all of these things, because these adjustments, this is going to be someone who's going to see you. You know, this is going to be someone who's going to listen to what you say. And there has to be a mutual respect. It's not just that you respect them because, oh, look at all the amazing things that they're doing. And they are and they will, but you're going to want them to think that about you too. There is no relationship stronger than two people that come together in mutual respect. Right? So, beautiful reading for you guys. Again, if you want to... if you're a member, Soul Seekers group, or if you've purchased the 12 videos each month or subscribed to just a single video each month, any of the 3 tiers, you'll automatically get access to the weekly bump and the love readings. I do extendeds for each zodiac sign. So we're going to go through each zodiac sign, talk about the love energy specifically for them. And that will be found on the website. Once you're logged in, it will be found on the blog page at the very top. All right. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Bye-bye.